in Educational Information and Communication Technology presents Educational Satellite Television Programs.
Hello, teacher. Hello, students. Welcome to today's lesson on blood transfusion. In our last lesson, we studied the components of blood. We identified the main components of blood, which include plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets, and described their functions. Today, we are going to learn about blood transfusions. We will begin by listing the blood groups, and we will discuss the compatibility between types of blood. If you are prepared, we will begin. A blood transfusion is the process of transferring blood into one's circulation through intravenous therapy or IV therapy. Blood or blood products from one person, known as the donor, are transferred into another person's bloodstream. This person is called the recipient. Blood transfusion is performed for a number of reasons in order to replace blood cells. Some of these reasons include to replace blood lost through severe bleeding, during surgery when blood loss occurs, or to increase the quality of the blood in an anemic patient. Before a transfusion can occur, it is critical to know the kind of blood the donor and recipient have. All types of blood cannot be combined and then go on to function normally. The right type of blood must be given to the recipient in order for the transfusion to be successful. There are 4 types of human blood groups in the ABO system: A, B, AB, and O. If different types of blood are mixed together, there may be a reaction between them. This disrupts the functioning of the red blood cells. A special protein called an antigen is found on the surface of the red blood cells. This protein determines the different human blood groups. Antigens enable cells to recognize each other and to recognize cells from other organisms. If cells in the immune system identify a foreign antigen, they will produce antibodies. Antibodies are proteins that are made by white blood cells and function to inactivate pathogens. In other words, antibodies attach themselves to antigens and destroy the foreign substance. This is how the immune system fights off organisms that cause disease. Two possible antigens can be found on the red blood cells, antigen A and antigen B. There are also two antibodies found in the plasma, antibody A and antibody B. The antigen on the surface make up the four blood groups. As you can see, antigen A and antibody B form type A blood. Antigen B and antibody A form type B blood. Antigens A and B form type AB blood, and antibodies A and B form type O blood. Students, let us do a brief activity before we continue with the lesson. Please explain the following terms: blood transfusion, antigen, and antibody.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Hello again, students. I am sure that was a simple activity for you. A blood transfusion is the process of transferring blood from one person to another through veins. An antigen is a protein found on the surface of the red blood cells that enable cells to recognize each other and to recognize cells from other organisms. An antibody is a protein made by white blood cells that work to destroy foreign substances or pathogens. Did you define all the terms correctly? If so, great job. As we have learned already, it is vital to ensure that the right type of blood is transferred in blood transfusion. If not, a reaction between the antigen and the antibody may make the red blood cells stick together and not work properly. This is called agglutination. Fortunately, it is not usually the case that only one type of blood can be given. Blood with a particular antigen must be mixed with blood that contains a complementary antibody. This is called the compatibility of blood. If you direct your attention to the chart on the screen, you can see which types of blood are complementary and which types are not. Since type O has no A or B antibodies, it can donate to all the other types. People with type O are called universal donors. Type A has a B antibody, so it can only mix with other type A blood and type AB blood. Type B has an A antibody, so it can only mix with other type B blood and type AB blood. Type AB has both antigen A and antigen B, so it can only mix with other type AB blood. Also, you may notice type AB can receive all blood types. People with this type of blood are called universal recipients. Students, we have time for one last activity. Please list the 4 blood types and identify the antigens and antibodies in each type. Then, state the types of blood each is compatible with. You may begin.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up! Let's get back to our lesson.
Hello again, students. How did you do? Type A blood consists of antigen A and antibody B. Type A is compatible with type A and type AB blood. Type B blood consists of antigen B and antibody A. Type B is compatible with type B and type AB blood. Type AB blood consists of antigens A and B. Type AB blood is only compatible with type AB blood. Type O blood consists of antibodies A and B. Type O blood is compatible with all the other blood types. I hope you were able to correctly answer this, students. We have reached the end of our lesson. Today, we learned about blood transfusion, blood type, and blood compatibility. I hope you found this lesson interesting and informative. Until next lesson, thank you, teacher. Thank you, students.